So the issue that's going to be faced is, so this photo, which is the original in the book, is printed using a whole lot of tiny, tiny, tiny little dots. And when it's scanned, it's also scanned using a whole lot of tiny, tiny, tiny little dots. So in the scan, if you zoom in really, really close with this high resolution scan, you can see all of these individual dots. And that looks fine on the computer screen. But when you print it, the printer also uses a whole lot of tiny, tiny, tiny little dots. And so when you've got these repeating patterns of dots lining up over each other, they will create these lines or these patterns called Moiré patterns. Depending on what resolution the printer is using, the lines will look different. So this is printed at 2,400 dots per inch, and you can see the lines run like this from right to left. This was also an issue on your first proof, although because the resolution was lower and the dots on here were not as sharp, this wasn't as big an issue, but it was a slight issue. So as the resolution is now higher in these scans, the issue has become even more apparent. However, we can use a blurring algorithm to in Photoshop to blur away the dots, which will just create a perfect black and white image with no dots, and that will work for printing. But if you print high resolution scans of most printed material, you'll end up with this Moiré imaging, which will be visible in the final product.